Alrighty, welcome back to Let's Vibe Podcast, hosted by Vibe with Aid. It's episode 21, y'all, and we're getting a little crazy today with some crazy festival stories, and I'll be introducing to you my new podcast, Festival Tales Podcast. Welcome back, you guys. It's been a minute. I say this every episode, but we're a bi-weekly podcast, and a lot has been happening since the last podcast. I moved, so I am in my office space right now. It has been a journey to get to this point. I will talk about it in the vibe check. We will catch up and whatnot, but welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so happy to have you here and that you're spending your Tuesday with me or whatever day that you're listening from. I really do appreciate you having here, so welcome back. I hope you guys have been doing well, staying safe and healthy out there and everything. Before we get into the podcast, of course, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, all that jazz. Follow me on Twitter, Vibe with Aid, and we also have a podcast Twitter and Instagram at Let's Vibe Podcast, so be sure to give that a follow. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get on into everything. This is going to be a jam-packed episode today. Like I always do to start out the episodes, we do a listener of the week. So this listener of the week is a special lady. I'm so excited to shout out. Her social media is at Tate J. My girl, I am so excited for you to move to Austin and to get to know you a lot better. But I just want to thank you so much for the support. You and I have always had some really great conversations, and I just really appreciate the support that you've given me and whatnot. She also has a YouTube channel, you guys, so go check her out, give her a follow and everything. And yeah, like I said, I can't wait to meet you once you move to Austin and we can connect and all that. So give her some love and send some good vibes your way today. Thank you so much for all the support. Just so you guys know, if you do want to be featured as listener of the week, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tag me on Instagram, follow me, whatever it is. And yeah, that way I can show some love to you, send some good vibes your way. I appreciate your guys' support immensely. So yeah, I just had the biggest brain fart to get to the next part of this. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate it. It's been a hard time. We're all going through it, and I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. So yeah, thanks again. But we're going to be doing these podcasts a little bit differently now, you guys. I'm not going to be cutting as much, so what comes out is going to come out. This is going to be a little bit more unfiltered. I picked that up from Babs Life. He told me he doesn't really edit his podcast, so all these awkward pauses, these we're just going to roll with it, I'm hoping to get better at talking. That's one thing I've really wanted to get better at in 2020 is to just have my thoughts really collected. So I always typically have a script out, but those take a lot of time. So I've just been trying to do bullet points and stuff. So we're just going to see how this goes. And we have a new mic today, so that's dope. But yeah, we're going to get into the vibe check. There's a lot of stuff to update you guys on that's been going on in my life. And if you're new to the vibe check, this is also a good way for you to check in with yourself. It's a crazy time we're living in. There is just something new every single day, I swear. And it's just so crazy to me. So it's always good to just check in with yourself. I've really gotten off my routine the past couple of weeks, so I'm really hoping to meditate more, journal more, check in with myself and whatnot. So let's get into this vibe check. So what we'll do is we'll take 3 deep breaths. First one in, and exhale it back out. Second one in, and exhale it back out. Third one in, and exhale it back out. I already feel better. Then I'll ask the following questions, and you can think in your head, journal, whatever feels good. So, number 1, how am I feeling today? Number 2, do I like this feeling? Number 3, what could this feeling be trying to teach me? Number 4, What could make today better, or is there a need to? Number 5, what are 3 things I'm grateful for today? Number 6, what could I affirm for myself today, or a goal I can set for myself? Now, I'll go ahead and share how I'm feeling, and you can ponder those questions throughout today. So today, it's Monday when I'm recording this. It's the day before this podcast goes up, which is so unlike me, but we're rolling with it. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty stressed. There's a lot going on in my life. But we did just move into our new place. I'm so excited to show you guys this place once it's all ready to go. There will be 2 moving vlogs coming out to you. So originally I was moving into a new place on last Friday, not this past Friday, but last Friday. And I walked into that apartment and there was just something not right about it. In the photos, in the floor plan, there was this divider wall between the living area and the dining area. And the dining area I was going to convert into an office space, create space, you name it. I was ready for it. This apartment didn't have it. And so that's what I was dealing with. So we went back and forth. It's all in the vlog of everything that happened, so I won't spoil too much. But basically, they upgraded me to another apartment that has a lot more space, that is going to be a lot better suited for me. More expensive, but I can afford it. So your girl is going to be getting her budget intact. I don't have a budget really. I've been saving a lot of money, but I don't really have a budget. So I'm going to need to get my budget in order and everything for this place. But nonetheless, I am so happy to be in this space. Like, once you guys see it, it is just chef's kiss. It just makes me so happy to be here. And it's going to work really well for me since I do work from home and I also do my side hustle from home. So it's really a place that is going to be really great for me. So I am really excited about that. Was a journey to get here, but we're here. Some other things have kind of gone crazy. My job has gotten a lot more crazy. I can't really talk too much about it, but basically I'm going to be very busy the next couple of weeks with my job, which is great. Busy's great. There's a lot of good opportunity and stuff happening for me right now. I just need to not get overwhelmed and kind of just take things one thing at a time. And I also worry about like keeping up with Vibe with 8 at the same time. So we'll just kind of take things as we go and just kind of take it day by day. If I have to step back on Vibe with 8 a little bit, then I have to do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, everything's been going good. Otherwise, like last week was a little bit crazy. I was not living in one set spot. I was living out of boxes and suitcases and stuff. So that was a little bit hectic. But now that I'm in my own space, I can really focus on creating the space to what I want it to be and then focus on career and stuff like that. So yeah. That is basically, I think, the update, honestly, for right now. Do I like this feeling? I'm feeling okay right now. I just need to, like, keep my cool, do my meditating, have my routines, get back on the grind, and I think we'll be feeling a lot better. What could this be? What could this feeling be trying to teach me? It's interesting because this feeling that I'm feeling, we've been here before, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a go-getter, I'm busy, I booked and busy all the time, and I do get overwhelmed very easily. But we've been here before. We know what we need to do, you know what I mean? So I think this feeling could just be teaching me that, like, I know what I need to do, and I just need to do it, you know? Just need to do it, go easy on myself, and all that stuff. So what could make today better, or is there a need to? Honestly, your girl needs to go to bed soon, but we're getting this podcast up for you guys, so it's super important, and I wanted to get this up and talk to you guys because it's been a while, and I love talking and connecting with you guys, but your girl needs to sleep, so she's going to prioritize some sleep tonight and sleep in tomorrow and do what she can. I'm also not going to the gym this week. Well, I am going to the gym, but I'm just walking. All this moving and, like, bending down and whatever, my lower back is killing me, but it'll be okay. 3 things I'm grateful for today. So I would say I am grateful to be in a new place. I'm grateful that I'm in a position to be in the place like this and have a really nice apartment. Very excited about that. I am grateful for, and I haven't really spoken about this on the podcast, But I am grateful for my boyfriend. Yes, breaking news. If you're listening, babe, thank you for everything you do. Despite everything that was going on, I am very grateful for him keeping me cool for the past week. It's also his birthday on Friday, so this is also kind of like ties in with his birthday, as a happy early birthday and whatnot. But he let me stay with him this past week while I was sorting out my apartment situation and everything like that. Really took care of me and everything. So yeah, babe, if you're listening, thanks for taking care of me and everything. I'm super grateful for you. You know that. And this is Chase, by the way, if you guys are following, from the episode that I mentioned him a couple episodes ago. I think it was episode 19. But yeah, I just got really hot talking about that. But it was on my mind. We were just talking like not too long ago, and yeah, just feeling super grateful for him right now. Oh God, I'm blushing. And then the last one I would say, let's see, I am grateful for... It's always like I just am really grateful for like my journey in becoming more self-aware, I guess, is like that's very long, but like the fact that I can sit here and express gratitude, the fact that I can sit here and despite the circumstances, I know that these things are happening for a reason, and like despite all the negativity going on in the world, I know that there's like still good out there, you know, and I'm being like, I don't know, I just feel very grateful that I am where I am today and being so self-aware that like, even though I am stressed and overwhelmed, I know I've been here before and I know how to get through it. You know what I mean? So I am really grateful for that. Despite the challenges that 2020 has brought us, like we're at the end of August, thankfully. Hello, September. Nice to see you. Hi, how are you? 2020 has been a real bitch, you guys, but despite all of it, it has some really good takeaways, I think, that will help us keep on progressing forward. You know what I mean? So I am really grateful for all of that as my last one. That was a really deep one, but... And then my affirmation for today, I really am just preaching to myself that, like, I am doing the best I can and that is good enough. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's always more that we could be doing, but if we just wake up and try to do the best that we can, that's enough. You know what I mean? If we just give it an effort. And some days, you know what? Some days we have our days where we don't want to give it. We don't want to put in the effort, or we don't want to put forth that effort because we're tired. We're drained. We're going through these like crazy times of like political injustices, social injustices, our environment, like everything is just crazy right now. So like it's okay to take a step back and rest, but like there are times where it's time to grind and do it and do what you can to do your best and stuff. So right now is grind time for me, but I'm also telling myself like I am doing the best I can, and at the end of the day, like that is enough. Because there are times where there were times that my brain would make me feel like I'm not doing enough. But I do a lot in a day, and I really don't give myself a lot of credit for it. So I'm going to be trying this next month to give myself more credit and whatnot, because I do a lot. And it is good enough, you know what I mean? So that is the vibe check for this week. I hope this was good for me to catch up with you guys, and I hope you're doing well. Like I said, check in with yourself, check in with your friends. That's the point of this vibe check, is just to kind of ground yourself. I get feedback a lot of the time that my voice is really soothing, so I really hope that that's still true. And that it kind of helps you guys out with whatever you might be going through. So I am going to take a quick break, and we will get into today's episode. All right, so if you guys are familiar with the podcast, here in the break time, I don't really do any sponsored breaks or anything like that. We don't really have any sponsorships, which is totally fine by me. I am totally fine using this time to promote brands and companies and whatnot that I want to promote anyway. with no return on it. I really don't care. I'm just happy to use my platform to kind of share some more stuff with you guys. So today's a little different. I normally have been doing rave wear brands and whatnot because this is a really hard time for them because, you know, we're not going to festivals or shows. So it has been a really hard time for these festival rave wear clothing brands. But this week I wanted to feature an artist. So like actual art, not music. This is Strange Graves. She goes by the name of Jessie. She she mailed me a package to my P.O. box, which if you want to know, if you didn't know, I have a P.O. box. If you guys want to ever send me anything, be pen pals, whatever, you can find that address on Twitter and on my Instagram story. I have it saved as a highlight. And I think it's also in my YouTube description box. But she sent me a package for my new apartment. And you guys, this art that she does is literally insane. Literally insane. So find her on Instagram at Strange Graves. Give her a follow. Check her out. Share the art if you like it, whatever it may be. Like, I feel so grateful to have gotten this care package and feel so special that I get to decorate my new place with it. And she gave me a bunch of like self-care stuff. Like, it was just the cutest thing. And like, I got my first tarot deck and I'm just so excited. So yeah, definitely go check her out. I definitely am going to be featuring more like artists and artwork and stuff like that soon, just because I am really excited that I have my own place to decorate with this stuff. And I have so many cute walls for backdrops, you guys. The content is going to be so great in my new place. You guys will see. Just wait. Just wait for the apartment tour. It's coming. But anyways, like I said, at Strange Graves on Instagram, go give it a follow, support, buy her art, whatever it is. And I believe she's also in Chicago and does something like tattoos or something. Because she said if I'm ever in Chicago and want a tattoo to hit her up. So I will definitely be doing that at some point. But yeah, that is it for this week's little break and promotion and whatnot. So let's vibe back into today's episode. So this week's episode is a little bit different. It's not really an interview, but it's a sneak peek at my new podcast that I am co-hosting with Babs Life. So if you guys checked out the podcast episode from 2 weeks ago, episode 20, I interviewed Babs Life. If you guys don't know our story of how we met through Twitter DMs. He DM'd me asking me how I got to where I am as Vibe with Aid and how I'm able to go to festivals with press passes and stuff like that. Shot him some of my advice on what to do and how to build a brand and stuff like that. And then a couple months later, he created his own brand called Babs Life. He created his own podcast called The Babs Experience, where he just interviews people. He interviewed me and then I interviewed him for the podcast. Definitely such a cool guy and just has such good energy. And when we were doing our podcast together, I told him like it'd be really cool if we did a podcast episode on Let's Vibe Podcast, just reading crazy festival stories. Like, let's just get as many stories and just kind of go through them, whatever. And he was like, you know what would even be better is a whole podcast about it. And I was like, that's actually not bad idea. You know, like we just get these stories submitted to us and then we just go and we just talk about these stories and like have a good laugh, whatever. We share our stories and whatnot. So that birthed the podcast. That's so weird to say, that birthed the podcast. That created the podcast, the Festival Tales podcast with Babs Life and Vibe with Aid. It just launched today when I'm recording this on the 31st of August. So we posted our first episode today if you guys want to go give it a listen. But you guys can also listen to it right now. I am dropping the first episode into this podcast right now so you guys can get a taste for what this podcast is all about. And if you guys have any crazy, funny, memorable, sentimental stories, like you name it, we want to hear it. You can submit these stories anonymously. You can also say whether you want Babs to read it. He has such a good podcast voice. Like, if you guys haven't heard him talk, such a good podcast voice. So if you want him to read it or you want me to read it, doesn't matter. Submit your stories. We want to hear them. While we're kind of in this weird, funky time, I feel like it's a good time to just like look back on why we love festivals and kind of be reminded about it. And him and I have recorded the first 3 episodes, and it's such a fun thing for us to do. And it's a nice little fun project for me to do. And working with him has been really cool. So yeah, we're going to just go right on in. And here is episode 1 of the Festival Tales podcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is going to be the first episode of the Festival Tales podcast. All right, we got it. I think we got it. In case you didn't hear us, it's going to be the Festival Tales podcast. This is a brand new podcast that myself, Babs' life is going to start with Vibe with Aid. And we are looking forward to doing this first episode. Before we dive into the festival stories and tales you guys have submitted us, we're going to do a quick brief intro. So Aid, I'm going to let you go first and take it away.
Awesome. Well, I'm Aid. My full name's Adriana, but I go by Vibe with Aid. I started a music festival brand called Vibe with Aid in 2017. It was a blog, a YouTube channel. It's grown into Instagram, TikTok, all the things. I basically provide all the tips and tricks about going to music festivals since I've been going since 2015. And yeah, that's basically a little bit about me. I work full-time in digital marketing and I live in Austin, Texas. This is all my hobby on the side. So I'm super excited to do this with Babs and read your guys' stories and everything.
Awesome. Now you guys get to know her. You get to know me a little bit. My name is, I go by Babs Life on social medias. My real name is Jacob, and I am an avid festival goer myself. I am way more into the photography, videography side of it, and I'm looking to make more videos. I can't right now with COVID, obviously, but I'm looking to get more content for that, as well as put out content for you guys about tips and overall just new music and stuff coming out as well. I've got some blog posts up. And other than that, I do this on the side as well. It's one of my favorite hobbies to do is just podcasts, EDM videos, and all that. And then I'm working full-time as a sales and marketing representative for a company here in Florida. So that's all I got. And if you're ready, let's hit this first story. Let's get it going. Let's get this podcast rolling.
Yeah, let's do it. So just so you guys know, we are on Instagram and Twitter as well. So if you guys want to submit your stories, we will put that in the show notes and everything for you guys. But Festival Tales Podcast on Instagram, and then I think it's Festival Tales Podcast on Twitter, but there's an underscore somewhere in there. But you guys can find us on social media at Vibe with Aid, at Babs Life. We'll be promoting the Google form. You guys can submit anonymously, or if you want to let us know who you are, more than happy to hear from you guys. So just so you know where you guys can submit your stories. We want to know funny, crazy, memorable, sentimental, whatever, you name it. So you want me to go first, Babs? You want to go first?
It's all you. Take it away.
All right, let's start this out. All right, so I picked a Electric Forest story for the first one because
let's get it.
It's
magical.
It's me.
Magical. Electric Forest, magical, just like this podcast. Here we go.
Right, my favorite place, my home. So, first story is 2019 Electric Forest was our first year going, and my boyfriend and I have been dating for 4 months at this point. Before we went, I memorized all the lyrics to First Time by Slander and Seven Lions so I could sing it to him at the festival.
Oh, that's so cute.
Good Vibrations was on the first night. Oh, I remember that. And when the song came on, I turned to him and sang the lyrics, and he had so much love in his eyes, and we kissed on the drop. Oh, one could always hope. It was so magical, and so was the rest of Forest. On Saturday morning after going to the showers, we were sitting in our car, and we said, I love you for the first time.
Oh my god.
Crying. It was so special and we both cried. I remember it so well. Then on the last day, Seven Lions was closing Tripoli. And when he played First Time, I sang the song to him again, except I changed the words for I'm falling for you, I can't lie, to I've fallen for you, I can't lie. I know it's so cheesy, but this moment's changed my life for the better. Electric Forest shaped who I am today, and I can't wait to return home with the love of my life and make some more memories.
Oh, wow. Let's just start out with a heart wrencher, why don't we? I'm gonna grab my tissues real quick, and I'm wearing my Millennium merch, so I'm all sad boy hours today. That's so make me want to just call up my past, call up people in my past right now. Oh my gosh,
That's so funny.
that is
Yeah,
that
that's so
is so
cute.
cute and just so touching and beautiful. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna get in touch with my emotional side tonight, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, everyone's gonna put on first time and
Wow.
start. I think I actually, so my boyfriend, we went to EDM Drive-In a couple weeks ago, and Tritonal was playing, and they played first time. And he had never heard that song, which I was like really shocked by, and I sang it to him too. So I guess that's like it's just a good go-to song to sing to someone, you know?
Hold on. Get this real quick, I guess. Some
Yeah.
paper towels over here.
But no, that's so cute. And Electric Forest is so special. Go into the forest, especially if you guys went together at 4 months and you guys like were able to say you love each other after going through camping festival together. Like that's some real love.
Seeing
there.
each other at each other's worst, yeah, at each other's dirtiest, grimy selves for 4 days, if not 5. That's some deep love right there. Not showering, you're like, oh baby, I love you, even though you smell like shit right now.
Yeah,
I just want you to know. That's hysterical. But the situation I made up hysterical. Sorry, your situation is very cute. I didn't mean it in that way. But that is, wow, that's quite a memory. I personally have never been to the Electric Forest, not yet. I've got tickets for the next year. So I'm going for sure. It'll be my first year, 2021.
You gotta make it.
But that's an awesome and just wholesome moment that the community is all about. I mean, we here, obviously we chose this one for the first episode for a reason. We wanted to show that the community is about love and having love, and it's, all jokes aside, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful moment between two people. That's a beautiful moment just to see two people have, let alone
oh my god,
experience. I mean, I know me and my ex had a beautiful moment at Lost Lands. I'll remember Lost Lands for forever. 2018, just the best year. There's nothing that compare. It's very deep and touching in my heart, and there's, and like I said, there's sometimes you see people having those moments. I remember somebody came up to us and we were just talking, like just having a good time on top of the hill, and someone was like, hey, you guys look like you're really having a great conversation. I'd love to take a picture of you guys. Just keep doing what you're doing. And they just took my phone and we were just, of course, then we're giggling and laughing, but like, it was a touching moment. It's something you'll never forget. And I hope, whatever the road has in store for you too, that is something you'll always always remember. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words. You've left me speechless. But take that memory, love that memory, cherish that memory, and no matter what, I mean, that's something you'll never forget. That's all I could say about it. That's really all I could say.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. Despite what could happen in the past and everything, you'll always have that good memory. So cute. We have to go back to Electric Forest. I'm so excited. 2021.
I'm down. I mean, I'm going now. So
yeah.
I actually don't know anybody going. Are you actually going in 2021?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now I know somebody going.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've shared that with you or anybody, but I'm in a group chat with some guys, and we call it's the Festival Fathers group chat. That was the name.
Oh my god!
It was the name that I gave it. Yours truly made it. And
so
shout out Cloudfather on Twitter. That's who helped me make it. But I was out one night at the bar, and somebody put in like, "Hey, I've got an extra Electric Forest ticket. Like whoever wants it, it's yours." And I was like, and I was drinking that night. Absolutely not going to deny it. And I was like, yeah, done. And I was like, how much? Like I was in second response, like the second it came out, like, well, how much? He was like, oh, just the price I paid for it. I was like, cool. What's your cash app? What's your Venmo? Boom. Got it. And I was sitting there at the bar, and I'm like, I got it. And he sent me the ticket confirmation and everything. And I'm like, well, this night at the bar just turned really expensive. Like how?
Yeah.
But I don't regret it.
So
I'm excited. I'm excited to go. I'm excited to go and hopefully have a moment like that myself. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, like they say, the forest always provides, you know? There's always like some
That's what they
random
say.
synchronicities that happen, random moments that happen. I'm sure we'll get some stories, especially if you've got an electric forest and you have like a synchronicity story, you definitely need to put that in. Like there are some times where you're just like, oh, I could really go for like this right now or that right now, or I want to see this person or that person. You'll just like randomly come across them. Like you just never know what you'll find in the forest. So
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm by myself, I have bounds of people to meet when I go, so it'll be great.
yeah, yeah,
um,
for sure.
anything else you want to add to their story or this,
No,
lovely festival story that we're doing?
I don't think so. That was so sweet. Good. Starting off with a feel good.
Definitely starting off with the
Feeling
feel
great.
good. And like we said, we picked this. We could have gone with a crazy one and a funny one, absolutely. But we kind of wanted to start this this podcast off with the right note and understand that at the end of the day, whatever these stories are, there's a certain amount of love that's in the community, and we want to be an extension of that love, and we want you guys to go into the community and into the world sharing that love. And it's stories like this that really highlight the love and plur of the community, and that's what we want you guys to go forward with, just like we're trying to go forward with. So
Yep. Snaps to that.
all right, snaps to that. All right, well, that's all we're doing for this episode then. Is that right? Are we doing two of an episode? What are we doing?
Let's do two.
Oh, okay.
You read one.
Let's throw another one in.
Yeah.
Which one shall we read?
Do you want to do that SMF one since you?
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Haven't you been at SMF?
I totally have. I'm trying to pull it up right here. Sorry, this is
Okay.
a little bit of an issue on my end of the computer.
Fix my lighting a little bit. I'm in a new apartment, you guys. I'm trying to get figuring out this lighting here.
Come on, thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna give it my best go around. Here we go. So this is the second story for the show. All right, this takes place SMF 2019. All right, here's what he says. This is a hilarious story that takes place at SMF 2019 and involved a situation between me and my youngest brother, and myself. I had been raving for a few years at this point, but my youngest brother, and we're going to call him Trevor, my youngest brother Trevor, texted me a few weeks before letting me know he was planning on attending. Being a super awesome big sister that I was, I made him a dope-ass playlist to get hyped for the awesome experience he'd be having that weekend, or so I thought. Oh boy, I don't know where this is going. So for the first day of SMF rolls around. I'm at main stage vibing with my friends and trying to keep an eye out for my brother. He had come with a group of his friends, but I still wanted to try and see him if I could. I spotted him across the crowd. He's a 6'3" ginger. So it's easy to find out. That's pretty funny because I'm like a tall person. That's how my group finds me. That's how my group finds anything. So all right. Picking up, it was about 5 or 6 p.m. and somehow my brother was already buzzed and feeling himself. Me being the rave mom that I am, I was immediately concerned. I sat down with him and made him drink a shit ton of water and tried to explain to him how this weekend would be more like a marathon and not a sprint.
Well, been there.
Especially in the hot ass Florida weather, which SMF is hot as fuck. I will definitely vouch for that. Eventually, his friends wanted to head off to a different stage, and I made them promise they'd keep an eye on Trevor and to text or call me if anything went wrong. My intuition was on point that weekend because something definitely went wrong. Oh God, this isn't. I hope this story's okay. So a couple of hours later, I get a call from my other younger brother. I'm not going to say the name because I don't know if that's a fake name or not. But he was at the festival that weekend because he wasn't at the festival that weekend because he was not into EDM. And he tells me he's been trying to get in contact with Trevor, but he hasn't been answering the phone and that he's worried about him. And at that moment, my motherly instincts kicked in. I sadly left my group of friends and the headliner sets for the night to go off and try to find my younger brother, Trevor. I'm absolutely pissed at this point. I walk to every stage. Thankfully, SMF is super small, which it was, looking for her younger brother and his friends who are nowhere to be found. Eventually, my mind starts thinking of worst case scenarios, and I didn't want to head over to the medical tent to see Trevor. I get to the main medical tent and give a full description of Trevor's full name and what he looks like, etc. They call me telling me Trevor has been transported to the hospital in the local area. Great. All I can think of was how I'd have to pick him up from the hospital dressed in my full rave gear. LOL. I called my mom, who Trevor has lived with, to let her know what was going on. She was not happy. My mom had already had a pretty bad idea of raving in her head, so I knew this was going to send her off the edge. I told her how I had DD'd my friends that night and couldn't leave to go get him, and she and Corey had to head to the hospital. That's funny that you were the DD that night. That's a good excuse to get out. Finally, I found my friends and I had came with about 30 minutes left at the event. They could tell I was pretty upset over the whole situation. I felt like I had taken enough care of my brother that day, but in reality, he's a full-grown adult and was going to do whatever he felt like that day. I tried my best to help out. However, sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Ain't that the truth? Eventually, the event was over. My friends and I headed back to the car. On our way to my car, I see what appears to be a tall-ass ginger in the distance. I get closer and realize it's Trevor. I was shook. And he was with a group of my friends who had met him previously. My friends let me know that they saw Trevor sitting on the sidewalk all by himself and decided to wait with him to try and see if they could find me. Immediately, I started asking Trevor, what the fuck happened? What's going on? Trevor tells me he had lost his phone that day. His friends, his friends actually had it, thankfully, and they got separated. He got separated from his friends during some point of the night. Security had found him goofed up and alone and decided to kick him out of the venue. So he'd been sitting on the sidewalk outside the gate since whenever they kicked him out. Thank God my friends found him on their way out. Otherwise, IDK, what would have happened that night? I don't know. I won't abbreviate the words. The story only gets better. Once I figured out what had happened, I let Trevor know that I'd give him a ride back to our mom's house or wherever he wanted to go. The man would not leave with me. For some reason, he thought he'd be able to find his friends that had basically abandoned him for the night to catch a ride back with them. I was livid at this point. The man had no phone, no money, and how the hell was he going to get home if he couldn't find his friend? Trevor was basically delusional, and it took me basically getting into a screaming match with him. Let's see if this... Well, that last part I can't see. Hold on. Got it, sorry. Basically took a screaming match with him to make me realize that it was better to move... Sorry.
It was a better move.
Oh, it was a better move to just let me take him home, and he could get his phone from his friends in the morning. I definitely remember a few people filming us fighting that night. So if you went to SMF 2019, you have footage of that night. I'd love to see it. In that moment, I was so heated, but I think I'm definitely one of my favorite festival stories till this day. Oh, and if you're wondering, Trevor made it to day 2 of SMF. Somehow he did. Kid's a trooper. That's a good story. Sorry that was a long read, and I struggled through that a little bit there.
Oh my god.
But that is a crazy SMF story.
So that was his first festival.
That is quite the first festival experience. I don't know how I would feel about that. I probably would have a bad taste in my mouth about going. I don't think I'd want to go day 2 if I got kicked out day 1.
Yeah, loses his phone, gets kicked out, loses his friends.
Wait, did he ever get his phone back?
He got his phone back. Apparently his friends had it, but like, you know when you lose your phone, you're like, oh, it's a goner, you know what I mean?
Oh, gone. I mean, I've had mine stolen. I've had mine gone.
Yeah, you had yours.
Yep, just absolutely. EDC Orlando 2018, just out of my pocket. See you later. Never see you again. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Lost everything I had. It was horrible. Yeah, and you're just like down and out after that. You're just like, this is so shitty. Like this is so. But that is, what's funny to me is that he just like, even though he was fucked up or whatever, he had the intuition to just like wait by the gate till the festival was over.
Yeah, honestly, that's
like knowing me, I'd be like, all right, well this is boring. Like I'm not gonna sit here while I can hear the music, I'd be like, I'm out. I'm not gonna go do something. Like I would just wander away, and my friends would be like, "Where'd he go?" And then no one would know where I was. That's pretty funny though. Good for you to hunker down and just wait around. The hospital thing is scary. That's so like that would. First off, I would leave that second if I found out if I found that out. But I mean, there were only 20 minutes left, so I get what you were saying. But I would be terrified. I've had to take a friend to the hospital before, believe it or not.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Just absolutely like terrifying moment. Like just full on like it was bad. It was bad. That might be an anonymous story that gets submitted one of these days. But he's good. Everything's good. But it was not a fun night.
Yeah. I had roommates my senior year. I had 2 roommates that went to the med tent, and I was like sitting with friends, hanging like taking care of a friend, and then like I just see like one roommate walking with like medic, but then my other roommate was in like it wasn't like I don't know, it was like one of those like bag kind of things that you like lift up and carry someone with.
Huh. Oh, stretcher.
It wasn't a stretcher.
Sorry.
It was like a portable stretcher of some sort. Like people were like carrying her in this bag, but she was fine. She was alive. You know what I mean? And I was like, what is going on? And like I texted my friends and I was like, what happened? And they're like, yeah, they're honestly too stoned. And that was their first festival. They had like a weed brownie that they didn't know like how much was in it, I guess. I don't know.
I'll tell you, man, sometimes edibles can really
they can sneak up on you.
Can really do a number on you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've had some experiences with edibles. Well, all right, guess that's out there now. I definitely wasn't gonna say that, but it's there. Anyways, well, I was. I'm just imagining my job gone now out the window.
Whoops.
Offer
we'll
redacted.
Just say brownies instead. That's all you had.
Of course, I just said the wrong name.
Yeah, Sour Patch Gummies.
I didn't mean that at all. I've had some friends that have had some experiences on them that are maybe not the best. Yeah, they sneak up on you. Don't know what to tell you. I've had
with those.
Oh my gosh. Anyways,
so props to this girl for being a good rave mom, though. You know.
Yeah, that rave mom intuition was there to go look for your little brother. I am the rave dad of my group normally, and I've taken care of numerous people. Like I said, I've taken someone to the hospital before. It's a thankless job, but you feel good at the end of the day helping people. I mean, I've missed sets for people. I've missed, so it's good for you. Yeah. Good for you. That's the and again, we want to highlight that's important. That's a part of that love and plurb in the community. Look out for your group. Look out for your. I mean, it'd be so much. Not everyone can be a rave mom or dad. I get that, but the fact that everyone in your group can care for one another and look out for one another and help. That's even better, and that's just what makes the community so amazing. That's what we're all about, is help. I help everybody, honestly. I'm like, hey, you need help? Do you need help? Yeah, someone's on the ground. I'm like, everything's okay over there? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But
I also think it's great that she kind of like let him go be with his friends, like she was like, I'm gonna be with my friends, you'll be with your friends, that kind of thing. Like, I'm an only child, so like I don't really know like sibling dynamics, but I think that's kind of cool that she was like, I'll let you kind of like do your own thing, even though it kind of went wrong.
Yeah.
But she like let him go off and figure out like festivals and stuff on his own. I mean, he must have liked it because he went back for day 2.
Yeah, gotta have those learning experiences too. I mean, you can't you can't have walk somebody hand in hand the rest of the whole night. That's just not fun for you either, at least in my opinion. You gotta like, all right, let them do them and go crazy. And then you can look at them the next day and be like, I told you. Like, but you gotta let them learn it. Most people don't learn by just listening. They're like, I gotta like experience it, and then if it goes really sideways, then I guess I know for next time.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have the one friend though that just doesn't learn.
Yeah.
I mean, I could pinpoint a few.
I can pinpoint a few that just don't learn and then they stop going. Like they just like stop going altogether.
It's either they stop going or they spiral, and you're
they just keep going.
They just keep it going. And I've got one friend like that where I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And then you try to talk to him, and then he's just like keeps. I've given up in that sense. I don't talk to him about it anymore. I'm just like, hey, good to see you. Like, I'm more of an acquaintance than a friend now. I'm like, oh, hey, good to see you, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, take it easy, man.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
But to each his own, I mean, I guess, sort of. Do whatever makes them happy. So, anything else to add on to this last festival? Let's last post?
I don't think so. I think, honestly, pretty funny. I would like to see the footage of them fighting.
Yes, we need that footage for sure. That's going up. That'll go up on the Twitter if anybody wants to send that to us.
Yeah, World Star, World Star
Festival
Classic,
Tales.
kind of like them getting.
That would be something we could do with the page too. Is if willingly people send in their videos of crazy stuff, you're more than welcome to. We're gonna put that right now. Just plug that in there. Here you go. If you guys want to send your funny festival story videos that you have, whatever it may be, we can put those up for you as well, given we're not exposing people. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't know. It's so funny though. Like when people that don't listen in your group, you get so, especially when you know the right thing, you're like, can you open your mind for 1 second? Can you listen to what I'm saying? Like, and they're like, no. Like,
it's also just so classic that like the one person you're looking for all night or like for a moment, you don't see them until the end of the night. Like it's always just so classic. They like stumble into camp. Like we've had so many friends in our group, like at Coachella or at Electric Forest, we just don't see the entire day. And then we get back to camp and we're like, where have you been this whole time? And the look on their face is that they've really just gone to war and like have seen some shit, and they have like stories to tell after everything they've been through.
I've got a story that is perfectly for that scenario. We had Lost Lands 2019. We met these kids from Indiana that now we're actually all really good friends, and we meet them and we're hanging out with them, and the festival it ends, and we're sitting at the middle, right behind the sound booth. I don't know if you've been to Lost Lands, but for those of you who have, the main stage, there's like the dinosaur, then there's a big open area, then there's the sound booth, and then it splits down the middle, and then you've got the left and right side. So we were right behind the sound booth, and we're sitting there, and we're like, you're looking for your buddy, right? And they're like, yeah, we're looking for a friend. We haven't seen him at all tonight. Like he's just been gone. So we think he's somewhere up there. We'll find him later or not. And I'm like, what does he look like? They're like, well, if we had to guess right now, he's probably wandering and he probably looks really lost. And I go, oh, like that guy, like right there. And they're like, and then they turn and they go, holy shit, that's him. And we called his name, and he literally, and it's funny, is he turned and he was just like who's calling me? Because he had no idea. And he was like, and then he was the shock on his face. He's like, oh, it's you guys. And it was like, yeah, there it is. There was a very funny moment where we were like, oh, I just literally just randomly was like, that guy right there looks lost. And they're like, he is lost. That's him.
So
like,
funny.
Crazy how that stuff happens. Now we're all really good friends, so it works out.
Yeah,
festivals are awesome that way.
That's awesome.
Are we doing a third one? Or are we doing? We didn't really. I've always thought we were doing 2, but I'm down to do.
Yeah.
I'm up for whatever.
I think let's stick with the 2.
All right.
I think that was a good start, and then you guys keep on submitting them, and we'll keep on reading them and everything, and we'll be sharing our stories as well that we have as we go on too. Because like even reading these, I like think back of like so many random memories that you kind of like forget about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally forgot about both Lost Land stories I had today. I was like, I remember both of those.
Yeah. So like we said, follow us on social media at Vibe with Aid, at Babs Life, and then we're on Instagram and Twitter at Festival Tales Podcast. And we'll have the form on the show notes every episode and everything, so you guys can go ahead and submit your stories there. And we hope you guys enjoyed this first episode, and we can't keep on reading more of your stories.
Hopefully we got some crazy ones for you coming next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye. All right, that was episode 1 of Festival Tales podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to check out our podcast at Festival Tales Podcast on Anchor right now, and then we're hoping to get added to the other platforms soon, but we're on Anchor, and then on Instagram we're at Festival Tales Podcast. Twitter is at Festival Tales _ and that is where you guys can find the form to submit your stories. I will also link it down in the description and the show notes here. And if you follow both of us on social media, we'll be promoting that form from time to time. So at Vibe with Aid on Instagram, Twitter, all that, at Babs Life on Twitter and Instagram. But I hope you guys really liked it. It's been so fun for us, and I just can't wait to keep on reading your guys' stories because they've already been so great. So please submit your stories. It helps us out a ton. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Nice, short, and sweet from me. And hopefully next podcast we can talk a little bit more about another topic and have a one-on-one conversation. It's been a minute since we did like a sit-down one. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe and healthy out there. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe, all that jazz to Let's Vibe Podcast. Do it for Festival Tales Podcast as well. You can also find me on social media at Vibe with Aid and at Let's Vibe Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Hope you guys are staying safe and healthy out there and that you guys have a really good weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay vibey, Vibe Tribe. Bye.